All right, Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Kakadash. All praises to the world calls God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahawah, bahasham, meaning in the name, and Yahawashi, being in the name of the only begotten Son. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the hopeful lay preachers, word of truth and sincerity on the brother Tazabah, the Great Millstone, Arizona camp. Lord will with another video to edify. And I wanted to make a quick lesson on this, man. Because what you're seeing is that the Lord is visiting the world which he made, like the scriptures say. And like it says, there'll be signs in the heavens. Let's get that. Signs. This is Luke 21:25. And there should be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Right? The Lord is bringing those signs. Right? Some of those signs in the heavens is the fact that he's revealing his power on the right hand side by letting these chariots come up. So look at that.
¿Qué carajos? Y un globo no es.
Going straight up and down, a perfect sphere. There's no propeller system. Right? Like the scriptures say in what is that, Jeremiah 10. Let's get that real quick. Jeremiah 10:1, it says, so hear the word of Yahawah, hear the way, so like hear ye the word which Yahawah speaketh unto you, O house of Jerusalem, O house of Israel. Thus say Yahawah, learn not the way of the heathen, right? And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. You see, for us, we're supposed to know, like the scriptures say, these are the chariots. Let's get that chariot. This is Habakkuk 3:8. It says, was Yahawah displeased against the rivers? Was his anger against the rivers? Was thy wrath against the sea? That thou didst ride upon thine horses in thy chariots of salvation. Right? So these things that people are seeing in the skies where they're labeling UFOs, all this stuff, these are just the chariots of the Lord. The Lord has his hand in this. Right? So the heathen, like we're reading in Jeremiah 10:2, the heathen are dismayed at these signs that are going on in heavens, but we're supposed to know and have confidence that this is what Yahawah Bashmel set up. This is what was pushed out in the world to show his power. Even before he comes, these chariots aren't really even doing anything but revealing themselves, right? They're just showing forth the just a smidget, just a small amount of the power that they have. And they haven't even really opened up, right? It says back in Jeremiah 10:2, it says, thus say Yahawah, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the custom of the people is vain. You know, that's it on that, right? So the heathen are dismayed at these things. They're having councils, meetings, debriefings on all this stuff. Where we, understanding the scriptures, we know that this is just the Lord's hand, right? The scriptures tell you the eyes of the Lord, let's get it, beholding this is Proverbs 15:3. It says the eyes of Yahawah are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. And this is why more and more chariot sizes are on the earth, because the Lord is getting the report of the evil and the good, right? That's what we're seeing happening. This is exactly why these chariots are coming here now, and in the influx that are coming, because it's a sign to let us know as believers, as the hopeful elect, Lord will we be of that number, that Yahawah Bashmiel Shai is doing this work in the earth. And to let the heathen know that their day is drawing near. Their day is drawing near. And also let us know that our salvation is getting super near. The scriptures say, look up. Right? Let's get that. This is Luke 21, and I'll start at 26. It says, men's hearts fell in them for fear, and for looking after those things which are come upon the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And who are the powers of heaven? It's talking about those that have a rulership. Heaven is a state. Heaven is a state. They're not talking about the spiritual world, right? In the heavens. The scripture is actually talking about the heavens or the rulerships that are in the earth now, right? These rulerships are going to be shaken. It says, then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. At that point, you're going to see the Lord coming with power and great glory. He's not going to be playing. The scriptures talk about Yahawashi would not meet the world as a man again. He did that one time. There's no need for it anymore. At this point, it's just time for the Lord to push out his judgment. It says, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draw nigh. So now that we know that Yahawashi is going to make his return, now that we see this kingdom going down, now that we see the financial system being taken down, the scriptures talk about no man shall look for his goods anymore. This place is literally, all these countries are walking away from the US dollar. So what you understand in that, you're supposed to come to the realization that what? Our redemption draw nigh. And now when you mix in these chariot sightings, and they're getting more and more clear. They're getting more and more clear. It used to just be a blip in the distance. Then it started being a shooting, right, object during a regular commercial flight, and somebody picking it up on their phone. And now you're having way more things come out to let you know that this is the Lord's working, right? So it's not a game. This is real life, right? This is the curse that goes over the face of the whole earth. This is what the Lord spoke about to let you know that these are the chariots of salvation. Yahawashi said, don't know ye not that I can pray to my Father, and he shall send 12 legions of angels, right? Or 7 legions of angels. I can't remember what it was. But he knew that these things were out there, and all throughout the scriptures, they showed themselves for a deliverance to Jake and a destruction to the heathen, right? This is one of my favorite scriptures to prove that those chariots were always working on the behalf of Israel, right? It says 2 Samuel's 2 and 2 Samuel's 5 and 22. Right, 1 second. Let me do this. Right? Little memento. Salakia. I'm not trying to have, because I'm on a trip right now and I don't want to have exorbitant charges and stuff on my phone. So 2 Samuel 5 and 22, it says, and the Philistines came up yet again and spread themselves in the valley of Rephaim. And it says, and when David inquired of Yahawah, he said, thou shalt not go up, but fetch a compass behind them, and come upon them over against the mulberry trees. And let it be, when thou hearest the sound of a going over the top of the mulberry trees. And what is the going over? You just saw a video where this is more than likely a chariot of the Lord, and I believe it is, over the tops of some trees. Right? 1 second, man. Let me go back to it. Over the tops of some trees. So what David heard was the rushing of the chariot going over the top of him. Whether or not it was creating a shuffling in the branches, or whether or not it just flew so low that he could hear the chariot. Whatever it was, David was able to hear it, and he knew that the Lord was doing his thing, right? It says, going over the tops of the mulberry trees, then thou shalt bestir thyself, for then shall Yahawah go out before thee to smite the host of the Philistines. And David did so as Yahawah had commanded him, and smote the Philistines from Geba until thou come to get Gazer, right? So David heard the chariots on the top, and he knew, okay, well, the Lord's with this now. And it's going to be the same thing in these times, man. Yahawashi is going to show who they're with, right? And these chariots are just an evident show that Yahawashi is going to pick sides to show who's going to show his power and his strength forward. Right? We're in the time where great miracles are going to happen. Great miracles are going to happen. You know, so Lord willing, this is edifying the Muslim. Call hello. Yahawah. Bahasham Yahawashi, bahasham Karkadash Shalom. Lord, well, I have another edifying lesson, going in a lot more depth tomorrow for bros, since I'm traveling right now, but make sure I'll be able to have more time to sit aside, because I'm not doing the bulk of the travel right now. So shalom.